What's happening, guys? So in this video I'm going to be talking about the two strikers that you see behind me, and that is Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah. Man like big cats, you get me? Now the topic is going to be on whether Gabriel Jesus should just walk straight back into the first team once he's fully recovered from his lengthy injury that he unfortunately picked up in the World Cup. So let's talk about this. I'm sick of them sweatsuits and them corny hats. Let's talk about it. So Gabriel Jesus has had a good season so far since joining Arsenal, right? And I'm not going to lie, I wasn't happy with just signing Jesus because I didn't think that he'd be enough. Because I was thinking to myself, and I was saying this back in April, I can go get that archive from my Instagram. I was saying that City, they're getting rid of him for a reason. He's just an add-on at Man City. If Man City go 2 goals up and they're going to win the game, he'll add the 3rd or 4th or 5th goal. Ironically, that day he scored a hat-trick against Watford, I think it was, though, when I made those series of videos. But I wasn't unhappy with Gabriel Jesus. I didn't rate him to the point of where it's like, oh, he's the only striker we're going to rely on kind of thing. Because I said it myself. Just him's not enough. Him and another striker, yeah. But just him, not enough. And it started to show when he went through that spell of not scoring. But his contributes to Arsenal goals, wins, etc. was equally as effective, I would say. Because everybody else around is scoring. And him being injured, it's not affected the team, but it has affected the team in a way because, none of us knew that Nketiah would be like this. So the topic of Jesus coming straight back into the team or not, it's kind of a good conversation to have now because we've got Nketiah that's now firing up. Now, my personal opinion, I don't think Gabriel Jesus should walk straight back into the team. I think he should earn his spot. Because Nketiah, he's been doing bits. And just imagine if you're Nketiah and you've been given a chance just because the main striker's injured. And then as soon as that striker's now fit, you're basically being told, right, we don't need you now. You can sit back on the bench. You know what I mean? That'll be an incentive to want to leave. Right, Nketiah is here to prove a point. Right, he has many doubters. I was one of them. Right, I'm not saying I don't rate Nketiah, but I never thought to myself, he's not going to quite cut it. But so far he's shown us that he does cut it, and he's justifying wearing the number 14 shirt. Now, in my opinion, Nketiah should stay in the starting lineup, even when Jesus is fit. Jesus should earn a spot. But here's where it becomes a good reason or a good option for having that kind of option. Is if we're still in the FA Cup and the Europa League by the time Jesus comes back, I would start him in them games. Right? And I would try and rest Nketiah for the league games. That's personally what I would do. I would have Gabriel Jesus for the cup games. You see, if Arsenal did this, if we're still in the FA Cup come whenever Jesus is back in about 5 weeks, if we're still in the FA Cup and Europa League in 5 weeks' time, Europa League starts in March anyway for us. If we're still in those competitions as well as still being where we are in the table in the league, I don't see why Arsenal, should they remain this form in the league, I don't see why Arsenal can't win one of the doubles, at least. I don't see why not. If we're going to start Nketiah in the league, right, keep starting Nketiah in the league, but have Jesus start the cup games. You know what I mean? We could chop and change. Martinelli can play as a striker anyway. We've got big Trossard on the left. He could play on the right. We can even rest Odegaard for a game or so. And Trossard could play in that position. You know what I mean? We've signed Jakub Kiwior now. which I'm gonna do a video about that after this actually. So we've got another defense option. We just need a midfielder that can come in for when Xhaka or Partey is rested, or should they pick up an injury or be suspended. Touch wood, don't. Right? I don't see why we can't chase the FA Cup as well as the league title. That's personally what I'm saying. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. You're not going to hear that come out of my mouth that it's going to happen. The only way you hear that come out of my mouth is if we're in a position where it would take Arsenal to just do the very unlikely. For example, like when Liverpool won the league in 2020, when they paused the season, Liverpool only had 2 games to win the league. The only way they weren't going to win the league is if they were going to just lose the remaining however many games. Like they were going to lose games in a row kind of thing. That's when I'll say we're going to win the league. When we're in that kind of position where it's not mathematically impossible, but you know, it's virtually impossible kind of position. That's when I'll say it. But as long as City are within reach, nope. I've seen City. We've all seen City claw back. We've seen how Liverpool have bottled the league. We've seen it, and Liverpool were miles ahead and everything. Now we've seen it. So I'm not. I'm just taking it game at a time. But back to the Jesus and Nketiah. Nketiah should stay in the starting 11. Jesus should work for his place. And him, by working for his place, he should play the cup games. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. Play the cup games. Jesus does bits in the cup games. You know what I mean? But if Eddie Nketiah keeps this up, how are you going to take him out? Why would you take him out? Why? We might have to start finding a way to try and play both of them if that's the case. But I'm not having that Jesus should just walk straight back in. Now, the injury is not his fault, of course. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to hold Jesus accountable for him getting injured. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's not that kind of pie. But, nah, Jesus is going to need to earn his spot because Nketiah is doing bits right now. Nobody knew he was going to do this anyway, right? But this is what we hope for, right? As soon as we found out Jesus got injured, I even said, let's just pray that Nketiah morphs into Mbappe. You know what I mean? That's what I said. And now he's justifying the number 14 shirt. For me, it's a very good time to be an Arsenal fan, knowing that Nketiah has filled in Gabriel Jesus' place. Gabriel Jesus now has competition to try and get back in the team. Eddie's now needs to hold off that competition so he can maintain his being in the starting 11, which means if you play Gabriel Jesus in cups, that's where he can now show, look, this is why I should be starting. That's how you would win more than one trophy in a season. You know what I mean? That's how you would win a double, in my opinion. And Arsenal could do it. You know what I mean? Arsenal could do it. If we maintain this form in the league and the FA Cup double. If we maintain this form in the league, right, and we carry it on to Europa League as well, and we can cope with it, the league and the Europa League, which is an unheard of double, by the way. You know what I mean? We'd be the first to do that if we were to do that kind of double. That would be a double I would choose anyway. You know what I mean? If we were just to fall short in the league, right, you never know. Maybe FA Cup and Europa League double. You know what I mean? One could dream of us doing a treble. You know what I mean? Well, we could dream of that. But we have to take it game by game. But yeah, Nketiah stays in that starting 11 for me. Gabriel Jesus is going to have to earn it. You can't just get given handouts. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Arteta is going to see it the same way I'm seeing it. You have to earn your spot now because Nketiah is doing bits. But let me know what you guys think anyway. Like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow all the socials, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.